When we met Dr. Blum 18 years ago, it was completely by chance. Someone told us about this doctor, and we decided to come. Honestly, we had no idea what to expect. We just took a leap of faith, and he agreed to help us. Our first son was diagnosed with cerebral palsy, spastic diplegia. We brought Anton to the clinic when he was a year and a half old. At first, we thought he was just being lazy or stubborn, but the doctor told us right away, no, he's not pretending. So we started treatment. After the 4th session, Anton started crawling. The moment I saw progress, I finally felt hopeful, and from then on, we just kept going. Anton is 19 now. He graduated from school and is now studying in college. He still has a slight limp, but overall, he lives a completely normal life. He's very social and has lots of friends. And yes, girls are starting to catch his attention too. He still gets shy around them though. But most importantly, he has no insecurities. He sees himself as a normal person, and mentally, he's much more mature than many people his age. After the very first treatment session, Anton started turning his head from side to side while lying on his stomach. After the 2nd session, he started army crawling, all across the apartment. By the 4th session, he was crawling on all 4s, and around 2.5 years old, he started walking independently, a little unsteady at first, but he walked. Because before that, doctors had told us he might not walk until he was 9 years old, if ever. Then last year, our 2nd son was born. He arrived extremely premature. At 29 weeks, the pregnancy had to be ended early because of severe complications. I had dangerously high blood pressure, and the baby had severe growth restriction. He weighed only 830 grams at birth. He spent 52 days on a ventilator. At first, he could breathe on his own, but after 15 days, he had to be put on life support. For the first 2.5 months, he had cardiovascular failure and adrenal insufficiency. He was completely dependent on hormone treatment. At 2.5 months old, he underwent surgery for severe retinopathy. While he was in the hospital, his leg was accidentally fractured, and he spent 10 days in a cast. We had finally reached a point where things seemed stable, but at 7 months old, during another examination, doctors diagnosed him with organic damage to the optic nerve. They told us his vision was only about 10%. The moment we got that diagnosis, I called Evgeny Ivalyevich. He simply said, "Come here." So we came back to the clinic. And after just 1 month of treatment, everything started changing. He learned to roll over fully in both directions, and now he's already army crawling. As for his vision, we haven't done another full machine examination yet, but we can already see the difference ourselves. Before, his eyes would drift upward constantly. Now they stay centered. He reacts to people, toys, movement, everything around him.
The improvements became noticeable almost immediately. Before treatment, it felt like he was disconnected from the world around him. It took him a long time to focus on anything. Now he locks onto toys right away. He even notices tiny objects, not just bright rattles, but little toy cars too. When you call his name, he immediately turns towards you and looks directly into your eyes. You can tell the world has suddenly become interesting to him. It's like he's seeing everything for the very first time. Now he wants to touch everything, grab everything, taste everything. He wants to crawl everywhere and explore everything around him, just like any healthy child would. Before, he was very passive and quiet. Now he's a completely different little person. It feels like his world has finally come alive. His energy is non-stop now. Even his dad's hands fascinate him. He studies every little detail. His facial expressions have changed too. He watches everything so carefully, so seriously. And now he's starting to make sounds and babble. Sometimes we even hear Ma. He talks nonstop in his own little language from morning to night. Sometimes the neighbors ask, "Is he crying?" And we laugh and say, "No, he's talking." His emotions are overflowing now. He's finally fully engaged with the world around him.
We visited the ophthalmologist on September 3rd. Here's what we were told. His visual function has been preserved. His right eye is at -9, although there is retinal detachment in that eye. His left eye is at -13. But most importantly, it's not the 1% vision we were originally told he had. Before treatment, they estimated his remaining visual potential at just 1%. The uncontrolled wandering eye movements are completely gone now. Before, his eyes would drift around constantly for no reason. The sudden movements toward the corners of his vision have also disappeared. At first, those movements were very pronounced. Now they are much smaller and much less frequent. He can fix his gaze. He turns his head towards sounds. When asked, he can find objects. So we can clearly see that there has been progress. And when we interact with him, we can see that the distance at which he notices and recognizes things continues to increase. As for his overall development, the progress has been tremendous. At this point, he does everything except walk independently. He sits on his own, gets into a sitting position, crawls, stands up, lies down, squats, picks toys up from the floor, and walks along the crib or playpen while holding on with one hand. Dr. Blum recommended increasing the visual exercises threefold. So that's exactly what we're doing. Overall, everyone is happy with the progress. We also saw a neurologist, and he was very pleased with the results. The ophthalmologist doesn't entirely agree with the treatment methods, but the results speak for themselves. As a mother, I've been through this before. It's very hard to discourage me. Our older son has cerebral palsy. When we first started treatment with him 18 years ago, people told me I was crazy. They said I was making a mistake by taking my child to manual therapy. They told me I was an irresponsible mother. But in the end, our older son improved dramatically. Anton still has a disability classification, but he graduated from school, he's studying in college, he's active, independent, and socially engaged. So honestly, I'm not too concerned about what people say. I see these specialists because we need objective assessments to track treatment progress. That's all. When we first came here, Prokhor was 8 months old. The only issue that needed to be addressed first was an inguinal scrotal hernia. Dr. Blum recommended surgery before continuing treatment. The surgery was completed, and then we resumed therapy. He is now 1 year and 3 months old. That means it has been a full 6 months since our first visit to Dr. Blum.